What's going on YouTube? Kobe here with a new type of video today. Today we're going to be doing a deck profile, and as you can tell from the sleeves, it's going to be an Evil Twin Live Twin deck profile. It is not pure, it's actually running the Dogmatica engine, but we are going to go ahead and jump right into it like we always do. We are playing 3 copies of Live Twin Kill and 3 copies of Live Twin Lilla. Basically, when you normal summon, special summon this card, if you control no other monsters, you can special summon the twin from the hand or from the deck. So, I mean, it's pretty much interchangeable. Lilla will bring out Kill, or Kill will bring out Lilla. And they also have on-field presence effects. Let's see, 500. Your opponent must pay 500 life points to declare an attack, and then if your opponent declares an attack, you gain 500 life points. So a little nitpicking here, you know, small damage, small life point gain, but it does build up over time if, you know, they continuously attack and leave this on the field. We are going to jump into the extender versions of the cards. We are playing 1 copy of Kill Frost and 1 copy of Lilla Treat. They are, if you control the twin, you can special summon this card to the field. You can only special summon them once that way. And they both have graveyard effects. For Kill, if your opponent would add a card from their deck to their hand, you can banish this card from the grave to draw a card. And Treat says, when you take battle damage, you can banish this card from the grave, target an opponent's monster, and that monster loses attack equal to the battle damage you took. So it's kind of like a floating protection, if you will. I've considered dropping down to 2 copies of the Cyber's Twins and 2 copies of the extenders, because if the opponent ashes you when you activate the effect of one of the Cyber's Twins, then it leaves you wide open. You can pretty much only go into Lingaribo, and if you're not running the parallel, then there's not a whole lot you can do unless you open one of the spells that we are going to talk about in a little bit. So normally, your play would be to normal summon the twin, special summon the extender from the deck because they have the in-graveyard effect. Preferably the Frost because, you know, you get that extra draw, and with the Evil Twin Kill you get another draw. So nice little hand fixing there. Well, not so much hand fixing, but more so drawing into your hand traps. And that's it for the Evil Twin, Live Twin cards in the main deck. Next we are playing 3 copies of the Dogmatica Ecclesia, the Virtuous. Beautiful Starlight Rares going on right here. This is a very good card, and as you can imagine, I'm also running a Deer Servant because there'd be no reason not to. If there's an extra deck monster in play, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you choose to activate her effect to Rota a Dogmatica card, not just limited to monsters, then you are locked out of your extra deck for the turn. So you can essentially use it as another extender to go into a link if you so choose, not to activate her effect. Assuming, of course, there's already an extra deck monster on the field. She is also cannot be destroyed by battle from extra deck monsters. So right before they go into their battle phase, you can special summon her. If they've got a field full of extra deck monsters, then they'll have to have an answer to her. Otherwise, they're not going to be doing any damage to you, unless, of course, they have piercing. We are playing 2 copies of Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis. This is a non-targeting negate if you control a Dogmatica card. So essentially, if Ecclesia is on the field and an extra deck monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from hand. Non-targeting negate one of your opponent's cards. Monsters. Non-targeting negate one of your opponent's monsters. Also, if this card declares an attack, all of your Dogmatica cards gain a permanent 500 attack boost. So if this stays in play for more than 1 turn, you know, everything Dogmatica-wise is going to be pretty juicy. Ecclesia is going to be 2,500 on your next turn. It gets pretty rough if they don't have an answer to these cards. Unlike Ecclesia, Fleur-de-Lis does not lock you out of your extra deck if you choose to activate the effects. And again, he can also be used as another extender in case you want to go into more links. And then 1 copy of Maximus. Maximus is a reveal. Banish a extra deck monster from your graveyard to special summon him to the field. That part does not lock you out of your extra deck. However, if you choose to activate his other effect, send 2 cards from your extra deck to the grave, then that does lock you out of your extra deck. So you will send 2 cards from your extra deck to the grave. Your opponent will also send 2 cards from their extra deck to the grave. It can be somewhat of a hindrance, but you have to know what your matchup is. If you're going against Dogmaticas or maybe even Drytrons, because they could probably send Herald and get some kind of effect off, then you don't want to activate the effect of Maximus. You could probably just use it as another extender. Choose not to activate the effect. You get that special summon for another body on play. 3K Booty too, by the way. He is a huge butt. And that is it for the Dogmatica cards. No Ashion. Alright, we are running, like I mentioned earlier, 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. This is probably one of my favorite cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment, and you're probably going to see this in a lot of my future deck builds, just because I like this card so much. Basically, when you go into a Link monster, you special summon this card to a zone the Link monster points to, activate the effect of Parallel Exceed, special summon another Parallel Exceed from the deck, and they both become level 4. If they Ash the summon from the deck, the monster stays level 4 because it says if it was special summoned by the effect of Parallel Exceed. So, reveal in hand, when you link, special summon to the field, activate effect, he's level 4, special summon Parallel Exceed from the deck. So this also adds bodies to the field for more link climbing, or they both are rank 4, or they are both level 4 to make a quick little rank 4. And I'm only playing one in the extra deck, and that is Baguska, but we will see that boy here shortly. And then as far as the hand traps go, we've got our Psy package and 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Not much to say about this. You guys know what these cards do. They win games. They end turns early. They're pretty powerful. I do, however, not so much enjoy Gamma and Driver, but I know why they're good. I get why they're good. It's just, it seems to be a lot harder in this deck because, you need the normal summon, and if they negate the effect of the normal summon, you can't really activate Driver. It's more good going second. That way you can, have some disruption on your opponent's turn. And then I am playing 1 copy of Boral Load in the extra deck for the Synchro monster. I chose to pick Boral Load in case, I already have Link's Engrave and I can get an extra negate, since this deck doesn't negate too many cards. The only other card that negates would be Fleur-de-Lis and Baguska. So now we're going into the spells, and as you can imagine, since I'm running Dogmatica cards, we are playing good old Nadir Servant. This card is amazing. It is way too good, way too powerful. It does way too much. So basically, on activation, you're going to send 1 extra deck monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Then you're going to search 1 Dogmatica card. You basically search Ecclesia. And then from then on, you could summon Ecclesia, special summon, search a card, a Dogmatica card, usually Punishment or Fleur-de-Lis. Or maybe Maximus if you're feeling juicy, but want some extra destruction on the board. But yeah, this card does way too much. You send Titaniclad usually, just to get the extra search at the end phase, and then, you just refill your hand pretty much. This card does way too much. It's really good, and I'm surprised it didn't get hit to 1 with the last ban list. But maybe they're waiting for the next one, since they want to probably put these cards in the Megatins coming up. We are playing 3 copies of Cynet Mining, mainly because the Cybers twins, not the extenders, the holiday-themed ones. Those Cybers ones obviously are Cybers, and this only searches Cybers. It's got a pretty hefty cost of send 1 card from the hand to the grave in order to search the twin. I do not enjoy this card too much. Obviously, if you need to use it, you'll use it. But once the new searcher comes out in the next set, these are probably getting replaced, because the new searcher is just way better because it searches any live twin card. I have seen people run Eldritch also. I might try that build out so you can send the trap to grave and get those trap effects at the end phase. We are running 3 copies of Secret Password and 1 copy of Live Twin Home. Secret Password says add 1 Live Twin spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Basically, your 1 search for home. I chose the run 1 home because I'm playing the Dogmatica cards. I'm playing Parallel Seed. Sorry, name escaped me for a second. I didn't want to play too many because this card actually locks you into your Evil Twin cards from the extra deck. So you discard 1 card, again, another hefty cost. So if you have, this and a Signet Mining in hand, you're going to be a lot out of a lot of cards. Hopefully one of your effects goes off and they don't have the Ash. But, you're going to search, activate Secret Password, search this out, activate, send a card from hand to graveyard, and then special summon a Live Twin from the extra deck. And then for the rest of the turn, you are locked into Evil Twins out of your extra deck. So it's got a pretty nasty condition if you don't plan on making new monsters. However, with another upcoming set, not the next one unfortunately, this card is going to get a lot better because there's going to be a new Evil Twin boss monster that you can link into. She's got like 3,300 attack, tributes herself, special summons 2 Evil Twins from the graveyard. She's pretty amazing actually. So this is probably going to be a 3 of and a 3 of on this, with the 3 of Searcher that's coming out in the next set. We're playing 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. Basically, try to search into your extenders if one of your Live Twins gets negated, or if you have an extender in your hand already, you can try and rip another card out of their hand. Let's say they ash you, you've got the special summon in your hand. Cool beans, activate talent, rip a card out of their hand. Now they're going to start with 4 instead of 6. Good cards do good things. Then we have our generic 1-ofs, Monster Reborn for extension, and Called by the Grave to hopefully banish an Ash or a Gamma and negate their effects. I mean, not much to say about these. You guys know what they do. And then with the Dogmatica cards, obviously we're going to be running a couple punishments. Really good card. Activation, send a target card, send a extra deck monster from the extra deck to the graveyard. Destroy that card if its attack is less than or equal to the monster you sent. So basically you send an Intis, destroy a card, and then Intis pops another card. So pretty easy day there. Then we're going to go into the extra deck. We're running 1 copy of Lingeribo, this mad lad over here. Your Cybers monsters, your level 2 Live Twins that are Cybers. If it gets ashed, you can just go into Lingeribo. And then maybe, hopefully, you have the Parallel Seed in hand. Then you could special summon Parallel Seed and then go into a Baguska to give you, if they don't have an answer to Baguska, they're going to pass their turn. And then you've got your Lingeribo for a trap negate. Or maybe you have the Live Twin Home or a Monster Reborn in hand, and you can try and continue out your plays. But unfortunately, this deck suffers a lot from losing to Ash, which a lot of lower end tier decks have that problem of playing around it, unfortunately. It's got some plays around it. Definitely will have way more plays once those new cards I mentioned come out. But right now, it's kind of a struggle bus. All right. Next up, we're playing 3 copies of Kisakil and 2 copies of Lila. More so because I like the draw more than I like the destruction. The deck already has a lot of destruction, so I want to draw into more cards. So basically what these cards do, they're interchangeable. Basically what the Live Twins do, you need 1. You can activate her effect. Instead of from the deck, she'll special summon the other twin from the graveyard. It is not restricted to just the link monster. You can have the little twin and little one engrave. But so let's say we link into Kisakil. Kisakil's effect will activate. She'll special summon one of the little ones, Lilas, to the field. Special summon Lila. Link 2 again into Evil Twin Lila. Then you can activate Lila's effect to special summon Kisakil from the graveyard, Evil Twin. Her effect says if you control a Lila monster, when she's special summoned, you get to draw a card. And then we swap it out. If Lila is special summoned to the field while Kisakil is on the field, she'll pop a card. It does target. But if you do choose to activate either the draw or the destruction, you are locked into fiend type monsters from the extra deck. So as you can imagine, we are playing mostly fiend monsters in the extra deck, so that way we can try and link climb in the new things. But these cards are really good. The boss monster that I was mentioned is a Link 4, so you'd have both of them in play. Link 4 into the new one. 3,300 attack, big girl. Quick effect, tribute herself to special summon these two from grave. So on your opponent's turn, when they try to destroy this, you can, quick effect, tribute, special summon, get a draw, get a destruction, or you can swing for 33, tribute, special summon, get a draw, destroy a card if you need to, 11/11, Link 4 in main phase 2 into another copy of the big girl. So the card's pretty nuts. Really looking forward to it, and hopefully it comes here by the end of the year. I think it's coming out in Burst of Destiny. Alright, rest of the extra deck. I mentioned Fiends. You can imagine we're playing a few Nightmare cards. Phoenix and Unicorn, not much to say about these. You know what they do. Send a card, or top deck a card, and destroy a spell or trap. We're playing Underworld Goddess, because she is also a Fiend and an answer to some problem cards. If you manage to get a board, or already have a board, maybe you destroy some cards, you can take care of a problem card they control, and send the rest of your monsters to the grave for the Link summon. One copy of Abomination. When a card gets destroyed by card effect, Abomination pops another card. Then he pops another card at the end of the turn. Both end. Not just your turn, end of your opponent's turn as well. Does a lot of stuff. Does a lot of destruction. Like I mentioned, one copy of Borreload. Might switch this out for Omega, just because you can rip another card out of their hand. One copy of Baguska. You guys know what Baguska does. He's a devastating lad if you don't have an answer to him. And then one top copy of Titaniclad and 2 copies of Intis. Intis, when sent to grave from extra deck, destroy a card. So we are going to do a quick pile shuffle, and then do a test hand or two, just to see what kind of plays we can get. And then we'll do a hand with one of the twins and one of the parallel exceeds, just to show you what kind of board you can end on right now until the new girl comes out. Oops. But so far, this is probably one of my favorite decks. I'm also playing PK Fire. I do really enjoy that deck, but I just like the aesthetic of this deck, and maybe it's just because it's VTubers doing cute things with a big old Unchained Abomination for destruction. But I do like the card art on these a lot, and I'm really enjoying these Comic Cat sleeves I picked up. Pretty cheap too, from Amazon Japan. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and test hand. Ash, always a good card to see. Nadir Servant, always a good card to see on the opening hand. Frost, Secret Password, and Live Twin Home. So that's unfortunate, because these 3 copies of this card would search out this card. So we do have a line of play, sort of. I mean, we've got the Nadir Servant. We'll save that for the end. So we're going to activate Live Twin Home. We're going to discard Secret Password. Unfortunately, this will lock us into Evil Twin monsters from the extra deck, so there's not a whole lot we can do. So we're going to special summon... I'm sorry, we are going to special summon the other one, assuming we don't get ashed. If we do get ashed, well, we would be in a kind of a pickle here. We could just end on a basic Ecclesia plus punishment board and a fleur-de-lis in hand. So this isn't an amazing start, but it is playable, so that's nice. So we're going to activate the effect of Keys to Kill, since there's no other card on the field, or no other monster on the field. We're going to special summon the Lila Treat from the deck, because like I mentioned, it has a graveyard effect. Now here is where you make your decision of what you want more on your opponent's turn. Do you want the draw, or do you want the destruction? I prefer the draw, so I'm going to link 2 into Keys to Kill first, Kisa Kill's effect is going to activate, and hopefully they don't have the not the Ash Blossom, the Ghost Bell. Special summon Lilla Treat. Then we're going to link 2 again into Lilla. Evil Twin Lilla's effect is going to activate. Special summon Kisa Kill from the graveyard. Kisa Kill's effect is going to activate to allow us to draw a card. Signet Mining. So not a very good card there, since we already have a board presence. Now we are going to decide if we want to end with 2 live twins on the field, or if we want to special summon the Frost, maybe go into another Kisa Kill. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go into another Kisa Kill. Since I play 3, it's kind of okay. And I'm doing this because on my opponent's turn, since I don't control a Lilla monster, I can special summon Lilla from the graveyard, and her effect will activate the Papa card. So that's the route I would prefer in this scenario, mostly because I'm going to get a couple destructions because I have an Nadir Servant. I can get Punishment and an Intis, so I can destroy about 3 cards on my opponent's turn. I would like the draw. The draw would be nice, but again, remember we have a Frost and Grave that will allow us to draw a card as well. So we're going to activate Nadir Servant. We're going to send our copy of Titaniclad to the graveyard, giving us an end phase search or special summon. We are going to search out our Ecclesia. Ecclesia special summon. Doesn't really matter which zone you go to at this moment in time. Activate the effect of Ecclesia. Then we're going to search out a Punishment, giving us another disruption on our opponent's turn. We'll set. This is Engrave. Now we'll activate at the end phase our Titaniclad's effect in order to add a Fleur-de-Lis in hand. So this isn't terrible. I mean, it's not preferred because we would like to have Abomination on the field as well, but since we're locked into Evil Twins, not a whole lot we can do about it. Plus we have the Nadir Servant anyway, since we couldn't really make the Abomination. We could have gone into a Link 3, but we're not running anything significant in terms of that. So we've got 1 Ash Negate, and if they do choose to, or if they do have another Searcher, we can always banish the Frost from Grave to draw a card, and we'll draw into a Kisa Kill. But let's just assume they searched. We ashed one of their cards. They searched again. We got the draw. Cool. Now we have a negate as well. Since there's an extra deck monster on the field, we can special summon Fleur-de-Lis, non-target, negate one of their monster effects. And then we have the Punishment. Punishment does lock you out of your extra deck on your next turn. So if you activate on your opponent's turn, you're still locked out of your extra deck on your turn. But we're popping 2 cards because we're going to send the Intis to grave, destroy 2. And then, I mean, if they had another card they wanted to set or activate, we could always just special summon the Lilla from grave and pop another card. So we had 1, 2, 3 pops, an Ash Negate, and a draw. So not too bad. It's playable. And then, of course, if they hit you with the good old Wombo combo of Dark Ruler No More, not really a whole lot you can do about it, but we still would have some disruptions since we have some destructions with Dogmatica Punishment. Alright, so I'm going to do the 1 test hand, and then I'm going to set up just a quick hand with these 2 cards, shuffle the rest of the deck, and then we'll see what we get and what we can play into. If we get the Servant, that's going to be just super juicy. Alright, so we got these 2 good lads right here. Called by the Grave, that's a good card. Okay. So, not terrible. We're not getting the, unless we draw it, but we're not getting the Nadir Servant or the Ecclesia Search. So with this turn, we're going to start off with Lilla activate effect. We got the call by to protect us. Cool beans, we'll just assume they ash us. Call by, negate the ash. We're going to special summon the treat. I'm sorry, the frost from the deck, because like I mentioned, banish on their opponent's turn, draw, or not draw, yeah, and draw a card if they search. Just a little bit of hand power. We're going to link 2 into Kisa Kill. Like I said, I like to draw. Kisa Kill's effect is going to activate, and we're going to special summon Lilla. Then we're going to link 2 again into Lilla. And now we're going to activate the effect of Parallel Exceed, special summon Parallel Exceed to a zone Lilla points to, activate the effect of Parallel Exceed again, special summon another from the deck. So we have 2 options here. We could either go into a Baguska, and since these guys can't go to defense mode, their effects wouldn't be negated. It's not a bad line of play. We could activate the effect of Lilla, special summon, draw a card. Now, actually, I should take that back because we're going to want to activate Secret Password to get a Live Twin home to hand. Thin out our deck a little bit. Now we can draw a card. So we're potentially going to draw this. Or we could activate the effect, special summon, draw this, link 4 into Abomination. So we're giving up our negates for destructions. Negates would probably be the better route. IMO, since we don't have a punishment, or we didn't rip the Nadir Servant off the draw. We could also special summon Treat to the field since we control Lilla if we wanted to, and go into another link 3, but I think we're going to save this for the next turn. We could make a leather link 4 if we wanted since we have home, but we're not running anything crazy link 4 wise other than Abomination. Maybe if we wanted to, we could co-link Phoenix with Abomination, but I think this is a pretty decent end right here. On our opponent's turn, we could activate the effect of her, special summon Lilla, pop a card. Abomination's going to pop a card. It's not terrible. I think I would prefer to go the route of ending on the Baguska, though. And where is the Lilla? So the Lilla is here. So we could end on a board like this. We are not locked into Evil Twins, but we are locked into Fiends. Actually, is this a Fiend? This is a Fiend. Guys, this is a Fiend. This is nuts. Okay. So yeah, you could end on something like this. I could still actually make... Yeah, I could. I could actually end. I can throw away my entire hand for this play. We're going to grab the other one. I could throw away my entire hand for this line of play. So now we've got 2 link monsters on board. Can't be turned to defense position, so their effects can't be negated. We've got Kisa Kill on our opponent's turn. Pop a card. He'll pop a card. Not too bad. Or, since we have no cards in hand, we could have sent the Kisa Kill to grave instead. And draw a card instead. So yeah, that pretty much sums up the Live Twin Evil Twin deck. Like I mentioned, it's got some support coming. It's going to make this deck super nuts. I think it could even be competitive considering it has many. It can play around Ash or play through Ash and Gamma pretty well with the additional support that it's getting. I also want to try, like I mentioned, the Eldritch build where you're running the Signet Mines, you're running the Home, maybe 1 or 2 copies of Home. You can send a card. You can send one of the traps to grave, proc the traps, search your Eldlin, search your other guys, search your big boy. I also would like to try out a more Cyberse variant where we could keep the Signet Minings in and play more Cyberse cards. I would like to try that out, give us Access Code Talker and some of the other code monsters. But yeah, that's going to wrap up this deck profile. Let me know in the comments below what kind of variants, what kind of engine you guys would like to see in Evil Twins, or what's maybe your favorite version, your favorite variant, or maybe if you're just pure-hearted, pure VTubers, maybe that's the route you want to go. Just let me know in the comments. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and that's going to wrap up this video. Kobe out.